All right, filmmakers, let's talk strategy. I mean, choosing the right festival.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't just about, clicking submit everywhere. It's really about finding that perfect match for your film's heartbeat, right?
Yeah.
A place where its message can truly ignite. Today, we're doing a deep dive into one of the most intriguing and, frankly, maybe misunderstood festivals out there, the Giffoni Film Festival. Forget the surface stuff. We're going to try and crack the Giffoni code, give you the blueprint for whether your story belongs there, and crucially, how to maximize its chances.
Exactly. Giffoni isn't merely another entry on a long list. It really carries this unparalleled reputation. It stands proudly as the oldest and largest children's film festival in Europe. But here's the real game changer: its unique identity. It rests entirely with its young jurors. These aren't your typical industry veterans. They are the very audience you're trying to captivate.
Right.
So our mission today is to go beyond, any press release. We want to reveal the core Giffoni DNA. We're offering you, the aspiring filmmaker, a kind of strategic map to understanding this incredibly influential event, this deep dive. It's designed to give you that insider's edge, to really determine if Giffoni is your film's next home.
That vision, aligning a film's soul with a festival, sounds incredibly powerful. But Giffoni specifically,
Yeah.
what makes it so different? So essential, even in the bigger festival landscape. Why does it carry such weight?
Well, it's not just a nice idea. The numbers and the historical endorsements, they speak volumes. I mean, we're talking about a festival so significant that way back in 1982, none other than a legendary Francois Truffaut, he declared Giffoni the most necessary of all film festivals.
Well, the most necessary.
It's an extraordinary statement, right,
Yeah.
from a master filmmaker, and it really underscores Giffoni's unique impact. It truly isn't just a children's festival in the simple sense. It's become this global cultural phenomenon. It draws immense attention and, importantly, respect from the film world at large.
The most necessary. That phrase really sticks with you. And the scale you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
How massive is this phenomenon? Because, for a filmmaker, understanding the reach, that's crucial.
Oh, the scale is, it's truly mind-boggling. Giffoni consistently attracts around 2,000 young jurors, and they're hailing from over 39 countries. Then the overall audience swells to an astonishing 100,000 attendees. It's this vast, engaged ecosystem.
100,000, that's huge.
It really is. And this isn't just a local success story either. Giffoni's model, famously known as the Giffoni experience, it's been so impactful that it's actually been replicated internationally. You see similar initiatives in places like Macedonia and Georgia now. And this commitment ties directly back to Giffoni's core mission: fostering growth, social development of young generations by actively engaging them as an international jury. It's all about enriching their knowledge, understanding diverse European stories, cultures, societies. Through film, they consistently showcase a really wide array of international cinema, everything from, say, captivating Russian fairy tales to these nuanced European films that honestly explore the universal desires, fears, dreams, anguish, and strengths of a generation. It's a truly global conversation.
That's an incredible reach, especially for a festival focusing on younger audiences. But, for a filmmaker with a serious story, maybe a challenging one, could there be a concern about being sort of pigeonholed or maybe diluted in an event focused so much on youth? Which brings us right to this crucial point: decoding the jury, what they really look for. What is this unique jury? And the festival's founder, Claudio Gubitosi, what are they truly seeking in a film?
That's a very fair question. And it gets right to the heart of Giffoni's, let's call it, cinematic DNA. It's precisely because they focus on youth that their criteria are so specific, so discerning. The first and arguably most important rule is, well, no faking it.
Right.
Giffoni's young jurors and the selection committee, they demand honesty and quality. Films absolutely must possess inherent quality and what they call unvarnished honesty. This means deliberately avoiding the evasions, the artificiality, the slick packaging of conventional mainstream cinema. They can spot inauthenticity a mile away.
Unvarnished honesty. I like that. It's a powerful phrase. What else defines their preference?
Well, beyond that honesty, they strongly gravitate towards authentic youth narratives. These are stories that accurately, genuinely portray the realities of youth. And this includes their complex desires, their very real fears, their dreams, their struggles. Crucially, without imposing those artificial taboos or limitations you often see in adult-made productions for children.
Okay, so it's not about sanitizing the youth experience at all. It's about respecting its complexity. What about the impact a film should have? Is that a factor?
Precisely. And yes, impact is huge. Film should also be catalytic and thought-provoking. They need to be designed to motivate young viewers towards deeper thought, towards fresh perspectives. Gubitosi himself talks about avoiding intellectual stagnation. They want films that spark conversations, films that challenge preconceived notions, and offer novel viewpoints that genuinely expand a young person's worldview.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, there's a clear character affinity preference. They seem to love protagonists who are curious, flexible, and venture beyond their comfort zones. Characters demonstrating dedication, perseverance, willingness to explore.
So characters who are proactive, genuinely engaging, not just passive observers. What about the visual side
What?
or themes?
Absolutely. Visual integrity is non-negotiable. Strong aesthetics are a must, coupled with genuine narrative integrity. Visually compelling storytelling is just paramount. And thematically, yes, recent programming highlights a strong alignment with specific values and concerns. We see themes like women's values in care, road safety, biodiversity, sustainable futures. These are topics, deeply relevant to the world young people are inheriting.
Right. Makes sense.
And as for what to actively avoid, well, films overly constrained by conventional cinematic taboos, those lacking genuine narrative or visual integrity, or anything that simply aims for entertainment without a deeper, more purposeful core, that's unlikely to resonate. It's really about substance over superficiality.
That's an incredibly clear blueprint. Still, it's one thing to talk principles, another to see them in action. Let's get even more concrete. Let's talk the DNA of a winner, analyzing past elections. What does a Giffoni winner actually look like on screen?
Yeah, it really comes alive when you look at the films themselves. Take Planet 7693, for example, a Giffoni Macedonia winner. It's this fantastic blend of genres: family, fantasy, sci-fi, drama, comedy, all held together by this deeply empathetic tone. Its core themes, they tackle complex issues like family disintegration and reconciliation, specifically triggered by a mother's miscarriage.
Wow, that's heavy stuff for a youth festival.
It is, but what's ingenious is how it handles these painful adult themes. It does it through the lens of childhood imagination as a coping mechanism. The film symbolically confronts the struggle for existence and loss of a child using, accessible sci-fi elements. This powerfully demonstrates Giffoni's appreciation for complex, even emotionally heavy themes when they're presented in an accessible, nuanced way for young audiences.
That sounds like a remarkably powerful way to engage with tough subjects, offers empathy and a fresh perspective. What about another example? Maybe one that leans more into raw emotion, real-world struggles. Show the breadth of what they embrace.
Absolutely. Consider When Fing Spring is in the Air. It won at Kristiansand, but deeply aligns with Giffoni's youth festival themes. This is an intense coming-of-age drama, structured like a road movie. Its authenticity is just key. It actually stems from the director's personal experiences with the Euro orphans phenomenon.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Heartbreaking.
It is a reality where children are left behind while parents seek work abroad. So the film powerfully explores themes of abandonment, identity, resilience, even some implicit societal critique. It shows how deeply emotional, raw stories, even ones infused with humor, can succeed and truly connect. And just to highlight Giffoni's reach across formats, look at Last Generation. It was a Giffoni Macedonia Junior selection winner. Now, specific cinematic DNA details for this short aren't explicitly in our sources, but its success in the 10 to 13 age category. It underscores that even shorter formats can powerfully engage younger audiences when they align with that foundational objective of educating and involving youth. So these examples, taken together, they really show that Giffoni consistently seeks films that are deeply humanistic, offer fresh, honest perspective, and expand cultural horizons for young people in a meaningful way.
Okay, so let's say you're listening, you're feeling that alignment, you're excited. You believe your film truly embodies that Giffoni spirit. But now, the tactical part, you're ready to submit. And here's where we hit a bit of a curveball maybe. Our submission playbook for Giffoni is a little different today because our sources, while they're rich in Giffoni's ethos and past programming, they don't actually lay out the typical granular submission rules, things like specific deadlines, fees, or even the preferred platforms. But don't despair. This just means we need to get smarter, more strategic about what really makes an impression.
That's exactly right. For many general youth film festivals, yeah, you'd find clear instructions for open submissions, maybe via Film Freeway or similar platforms. However, the specific sources for this deep dive, they do not contain specific, up-to-date eligibility rules, completion dates, accepted formats, or deadlines and fees for direct Giffoni Film Festival submissions. So, in the absence of those explicit logistical rules, your real eligibility check for Giffoni, it becomes about a profound alignment with the festival's ethos.
Ah, okay.
Think of the decoding the jury section we just discussed. That's basically your ultimate submission guide now. You need to ask yourself these strategic questions. Does my film possess that unvarnished honesty and inherent quality? Does it genuinely portray the realities of youth without cliches or those artificial taboos? Is it catalytic? Is it designed to provoke critical thinking and new perspectives in young viewers? And does it align with Giffoni's prevalent thematic interests like women's values, sustainability, road safety?
So it's less about ticking boxes on a form and much more about a deep, authentic fit with their philosophy. What's the insider's advice then when those logistical details are less explicit than we might like?
The insider advice here is really to focus your efforts on crafting a compelling submission package, one that clearly articulates how your film meets these artistic and thematic criteria. Since explicit logistical details for Giffoni submissions aren't outlined in our source material, your strength really lies in demonstrating a profound understanding of what Giffoni values. Your cover letter, your synopsis, your director's statement, these become absolutely paramount. They need to eloquently convey that your film isn't just for young people, but that it deeply understands them and speaks directly to the festival's core mission.
Makes sense. Focus on the why. Okay, moving on. Every festival, naturally, comes with its unique set of opportunities and challenges. Let's try and provide a balanced view, a kind of unofficial verdict. Pros, cons, and hidden value for filmmakers considering Giffoni. What are the undeniable upsides? The big wins of being selected.
What truly makes Giffoni stand out, I think, are the major benefits. Firstly, you get this unparalleled audience engagement. Your film isn't just screened, it's exposed to a massive, highly engaged young audience, remember, around 100,000 people, who are actively encouraged to discuss, debate, reflect on the films. This can generate passionate word of mouth, far beyond maybe what you'd expect elsewhere.
Yeah, that engagement sounds incredible.
It is. Secondly, there's immense global credibility and reach. Giffoni's status as the most necessary festival, validated by figures like Truffaut, attendance by celebrities like Meryl Streep, that provides incredible international standing. It opens doors. And while it's not a traditional market festival focused purely on sales, its emphasis on youth development fosters a unique community, meaning networking and development can happen, maybe indirectly, leading to invaluable connections, particularly if your film has strong international resonance. Finally, Giffoni has a strong focus on impactful storytelling. It champions films with genuine narrative integrity, societal impact, giving a platform to stories that aim to expand cultural horizons and address important humanistic themes that really resonate globally.
Those are definitely compelling reasons to aim for Giffoni. But, as with any highly selective festival, there are always potential challenges or drawbacks. What should a filmmaker be mindful of on the other side?
Right. On the flip side, there are a few potential drawbacks, things to consider seriously. The niche focus on young audiences, while its greatest strength, also means films not fitting this specific demographic or thematic lens. They will struggle significantly. It's just not the place for every single film.
Fair point.
There's also a high artistic bar. That explicit emphasis on unvarnished honesty, catalytic narratives, avoiding mainstream limitations. It means superficial or purely commercial films are really unlikely to succeed. It demands substance. And as we've kind of observed in this deep dive, there can be information gaps. Detailed data on specific cinematic DNA genres, themes, praised elements for some Giffoni Macedonia winners, for instance. It's sometimes just not explicitly available in the sources we had.
Right, which makes precise calibration tricky.
Exactly. It can make it challenging for you, the filmmaker, to precisely calibrate your approach based purely on past success stories, which really highlights the importance of deeply understanding the spirit of the festival, rather than just chasing specific data points or trying to, reverse engineer a formula.
Okay, so after this incredible deep dive, pulling it all together, what's the ultimate profile? The profile of a film that is most likely to truly shine at Giffoni? If a filmmaker's listening right now thinking, is this my festival? What's your final, most powerful piece of advice?
Well, if we connect all these threads, I'd say your film should be an authentic humanistic narrative, one that genuinely explores the complex world of childhood and adolescence, embracing their fears, their dreams, their evolving understanding of life, with respect and nuance. It absolutely must be visually compelling and narratively honest, capable of sparking genuine introspection, real dialogue, offering young viewers a fresh perspective on the world around them. Aim for a film that serves as what Gubitosi called a cure of ideas, one that encourages curiosity, flexibility, and the courage to venture beyond comfort zones.
Cure of ideas.
Yeah.
Love that.
And my ultimate insider tip, and I think this is absolutely crucial, don't just make a film for young people. Make a film that profoundly respects their intelligence and emotional depth. The industry, too often underestimates the emotional intelligence of the regular cinema lover, as the producers of Touch Me Not actually discovered. Giffoni champions films that defy this underestimation, films that connect deeply, universally with its audience, focus on crafting that profound human connection. Trust your story. And your film will speak volumes to these incredibly discerning young jurors.